Passive weapon effects. What are they? They are buffs that are applied to the player by just holding an item, but they can often be overlooked as you wouldn't know an item had one unless you equip it or read the item description. In this video, I will be specifically talking about passive weapon effects, but I could make a video about passive armor effects as well if you're interested. Let me know if you're interested by leaving a like, and if this video gets, say 1 like, then I'll make that video. With that out of the way, let's get to those weapons. First on our list is a weapon that many of you may have picked up, but you might not know has a unique effect, the Highland Axe. The Highland Axe can be obtained pretty early in the game as it's found in Stormveil Castle. To get it, all you have to do is pick it up off a corpse in the same room as the grafted scion. The corpse is resting in front of this majestic painting of the first Elden Lord himself, Godfrey, which is appropriate as the Highland Axe passive effect is a 10% damage increase to roar attacks. This increases the damage of roar attacks such as Godfrey's Regal Roar, which comes on his axe, or the Beast Roar, which is received from the Beast Clergyman. It does stack with the Roar Talisman, but unfortunately it does not affect breath attacks like Talisman does. But who cares, at a weight of 4.5, if you plan on using roar attacks in your build, then you can just leave this in your offhand and take the free 10% damage increase. Next is probably the most useless passive on the list, but I mean, if you end up using the weapon, then I guess it's something you should know. The weapon I'm talking about is the Pest Glaive, which is dropped by a lesser pest enemy, which are an uncanny hellspawn that I can only assume are a result of millennia having a rather nasty case of trichomoniasis, but if you don't know what that is, then don't look it up. It's not worth it. I've seen some things. It's dropped by Millennia's little friends at a rate of 4%, and I'd personally recommend you farm for it at the Caelid Waypoint Ruins, as I found that the surrounding area has the highest concentrations of pests that's easily accessible. Now you need to get ready, because when I tell you what the special effect that comes on the Pest Glaive is, it will blow your fucking socks off. It grants upon you a buff of 2% to elemental damage negation. It really is disappointing how dirty they did this weapon. I mean, it looks so cool, but it's so average, and the moveset is so slow, despite it being tied for the lightest halberd in the game. And with its passive, like, why'd they even bother putting one on it? The only hope for this weapon is if they change its moveset to be the same as the Guardian Sword Spear, because then this weapon would actually be a lot better. Now for another weapon you'll just keep on your belt for that passive bonus, and that's Sinqua, a weapon that you might assume is the small child of the weapon that Garok uses in his fight, but unfortunately I can neither confirm nor deny this. What I always found weird about it was that it's pretty much a straight sword, as it's the second longest dagger and weighs the most of all daggers. And even Wikipedia agrees with me, but who really cares about semantics? As a weapon associated with Garok, it probably will come as no surprise that it boosts bestial incantations. Sinqua gives a buff of 10% to the damage of bestial incantations, and the Clawmark Seal does the same, so while using both you'll get a boost of 20% extra damage. If you want to grab it, then you just need to go to Garok's house, and then his mom will tell you that he can't come out and play. So then you'll go over here and throw yourself off the cliff in a controlled manner until you reach the bottom. And then here it is. So if you want to use bestial incantations, then offhanding this thing is just a no-brainer. Now we have the weirdest weapon passive in the game, and is perfect for shekel goblins like me. It comes on each of the Celebrant's weapons, which there are 4 of them. One you can just grab, but the others you have to farm, and I did that, definitely because I wanted to get like 4 of each, and not because I didn't realize that the one I was trying to get wasn't a drop. No, of course not, I do research. Anyway, that's enough about the hours of my life I wasted. Let's talk passives, and this one gives you 10 or 20 runes for every hit you land, which is almost cool until you realize by the point in the game that you get to the Windmill Village on the Othis Plateau, that's just like No runes, that's really low. So while it is a cool idea and there are some strategies you could try to like hit really fast to build up the runes you get, it just isn't a practical solution by that point in the game. So I rate this weapon passive with a strong 3 out of 10. Finally, I have something for you nerds out there like me, an item for those who love big numbers and big damage. The Twin Bird Kite Shield, which is dropped by the death bird found near the Lanedale Hermit Merchant's shack. As you challenge the bird, make sure you watch out for the expired roly-polies. After proving that bird is in fact not the word, you'll get the Twin Bird Kite Shield, which functions similarly to the Red Feathered Branch Sword. It provides a buff of 5% to damage and 10% to damage negation when you're below 20% health. This is of course a rather small amount, but when you're chasing those big numbers, every little bit counts. And I mean, you have your free offhand, so you might as well take it. So you can use a basic setup like this and then hit the boss before they can even do anything, and it's just really satisfying. So that was my list on passive weapon effects that you might not have known about in Elden Ring. Let me know if you want to see that video about passive armor effects, and I'll get on that. And if you liked the video, then you can leave a like, and if you want to see more from me, then you can subscribe. Other than that, I just want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.